Welcome to episode number 306 of Category 5 Technology TV. Hello!
Hello, world.
It is Tuesday, July the 30th, 2013. Good to see you. I'm Robbie Ferguson.
I am Sasha Dermatis.
Hey, Sasha.
How's it going?
Excellent. You?
Great.
Good. What have we got coming up?
Well, coming up in the newsroom,
Do tell.
software that can draw abstract portraits in the style of specific artists has been developed by Disney Research.
Cool.
They're always on it. Sony and Panasonic are working on a Blu-ray killer, an optical disc that holds at least 300 gigabytes.
What?
Uh-huh.
Nice.
The Blu-ray Annihilator. Good luck registering a domain name if your name happens to be George Alexander Lewis. And rather than fix an exploitation problem with the car immobilization systems, the court has shut up the researchers who discovered the flaw. Stick around. These stories are coming up later in the show.
Amazing. Hey, also, tonight we've got an exciting show for you. We're going to be looking at a video jib that costs under $200. You're not going to believe that you can get this thing so cheap. And it's going to take your video productions and make them look like $1 million. So if you're into video production, make sure you stick around. Don't miss it. Also, get the kids, get the family gathered around the computers tonight and the Roku and the Miro Internet TV and wherever you're watching from. And Owen the Great is here with us tonight, and he's going to be performing some magic and talking about his quest as perhaps Canada's youngest magician. So stick around. Exciting show for you tonight, and we're watching for your questions as well in the chat room, and we'll be right back.
This is Category 5 Technology TV.
At EcoAlkalines, we believe you should be able to trust your batteries not just here, but here, and here. But with one exception, you should also be able to trust your batteries here. EcoAlkalines are the world's first and only certified carbon-neutral battery manufactured to the highest standards of recycling and quality, without any trace amounts of harmful chemicals like mercury, lead, or cadmium. EcoAlkalines provide performance that rivals leading national alkaline battery brands at a comparable price. Find out more about the EcoAlkalines difference. EcoAlkalines.com.
This is Category 5 Technology TV. So good to have you here tonight. And very exciting show coming up.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Phew.
First, right off the hop, I want to thank all of the viewers who have sent in donations this past week. So things are...
Definitely. We're working on building Studio D, which is a really exciting project for us. There's so many different things that are involved in that process, and we're looking at, one of the things that I'm really excited about is one day upgrading our video cameras and solving some of the issues that we have. And in fact, tonight we're a little bit late, so if you're watching along in the chat logs, episode number 306 is about, what did we say, 10 minutes late.
10 minutes on the nose late.
So for those of you who are watching on demand, it's okay. It doesn't make a difference to you, but if you're looking at the chat logs, do note that when it says 7:10, that's actually your top of the hour. So be mindful of that it's about 10 minutes off. So, Sasha, it's always good to see you.
Thank
How
you.
you been?
I've been great. Summer's just rolling along,
boy,
in the middle of
eh?
it. So, yeah, loving life. Things
Good.
are going great.
Work is good, and summer's been wild. We've had heat waves, and now we're at this really, really cold, and it's like, I want to take the kids to the beach, but it's freezing.
I have been biking, so really, actually, the cool weather's worked for me. Luckily, you guys can't see my lower legs because I've been biking on trails that are full of poison ivy, and so are my legs. So if I start doing the
Isn't that
crazy
like contagious?
scratch,
Like, I'm wearing shorts here. I don't want to get
no
too
footsies
close.
with Robbie today.
Definitely not. Hey, pick up the phone if you'd like to give us a call. If you've got a question, 2545 Cat 5 TV is one way that you can get your questions in. Of course, you can also get us live at category5.tv and in the chat room, which is Category 5 on Freenode. We love to see some of the people that are joining us there.
And the mobile sites.
Yeah, hey, let's bring it up. If you've got a QR code reader,
there it is.
m.cat5.tv. You can bring that up, and that's got on-demand video. It's got live video, live audio, all the above. That is our mobile site. Cool feature to have.
Yes, fancy. Now, Category5TV is a member of the Tech Podcast Network. If it's tech, it's here. And the International Association of Internet Broadcasters.
Thanks, Sasha. All right, well,
welcome.
We have a wonderful special guest that takes a little bit of setup tonight. Owen the Great.
Owen.
Now, I got something here that y'all are going to recognize. There we go.
There we go.
I hear that this guy is going to do some tricks. So.
I am looking forward to this. I love magic.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Owen, if you'd like to step into the studio, I'm going to actually step aside a little bit here. And
come on through. I got to host today because Owen and I are the same height.
Here you go. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
There you go. We'll just put that on your left ear.
Excellent. Perfect. Yeah, there you go.
Perfect. Okay, so my name's Owen, and I'm gonna do a few tricks for you. Here. Do you have a piece of paper I could borrow?
Absolutely.
Perfect.
There we go. Do you need a pen?
Yes, please. Okay, so I'm gonna do a trick, and this is gonna be kind of unusual, okay?
Okay.
So I want you to think of a card, and I want you to silently communicate to everybody at home
Okay.
the card you are thinking of, okay?
Okay.
So, yeah, we don't have to do it like that. I've got a deck of cards for this.
Okay.
So, here. I'm just gonna, oops. I'm just gonna draw like this. Perfect. So, what we're gonna do is, if your card is red, or if your card is black, okay?
Okay.
So we're gonna position the deck right here, okay?
Okay.
And I will cut the deck into 2 piles. Okay?
All right.
So I'll turn my back. And if your card is red, I'd like you to cut the deck like this. If your card is black, I'd like you to cut the deck like that. Okay?
Okay.
Now don't look at it. Don't look at any of the cards.
Okay.
And I'll turn my back. Okay?
All right. Turn around. Here we go.
And when you're done, just square them up in the middle, so I don't know which one you're looking at.
Oh yeah, that's a smart move. Okay. There we go.
Perfect.
Super.
So I'm gonna go through the deck, and I'm gonna look for some cards that I think could be yours.
Okay.
Perfect.
You're never gonna get it.
Perfect. Okay. So what we're gonna do is, if your card was a spade or a club,
Yes.
I'd like you to cut it like that. If your card was a diamond, if your card was a spade or a heart, please cut it like that. If it was a diamond or a spade, cut it like that.
Okay.
Do you want me to write that down?
This way for.
Okay. So if it is
Yeah.
a spade or a heart,
Yeah.
or if it is a
Clubs
or a diamonds.
Okay.
Perfect. And I'll turn my back.
Okay. All right.
Okay. And again, I'll look through the cards and try and find one that'll match the card I think you might be thinking of.
Okay.
Okay. Perfect. So, what we're gonna do is, once again, I'll turn my back,
Yes.
and I want you to start telling the audience what value you're thinking of, okay?
Okay.
So, for example, if it was a 3, you'd count 1, 2, 3 cards to the table,
Okay.
take them, and just place them back on top, okay?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Perfect, and I'll turn my back.
I have a question.
Yes?
What happens when we get? No, I don't have a question. We're good.
Okay.
Okay. No, I do have a question. Ace, where is that? And is that before 2 or after?
That's the first card.
Okay.
That's number 1.
Okay.
So just count them off one at a time on the table, and then just place them all back on top, the whole pack when you're done.
And then I put the whole deck on top?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, the whole packet on top of the deck.
So you reverse the order of the cards.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Done.
Perfect. Now again, I'm going to look through the cards, and I'm going to try and find one that I think will match you, okay?
Okay. Goodness, I hope I did this right. Just so everybody knows, if this went wrong, it's me.
Perfect. So, I think.
The suspense is killing me.
So, what we're going to do is I want you to deal the cards down one at a time until you reach somewhere like the center of the deck, okay? And I'll turn my back.
Sorry?
Just deal the cards down
Just
onto the table.
Just deal them?
Yeah, until you reach about the center of the deck.
Okay.
Okay. Perfect.
Like one at a time?
Yes.
Okay. That is probably the center. Okay.
Now I'm going to ask you the question about, would you like to change your mind?
No.
You sure?
Yes.
Perfect. So what we're going to do is, here, I'll just take this half back.
Okay.
For the first time, what was the card you were thinking of?
Okay, I was thinking about the Queen of Diamonds.
The Queen of Diamonds.
Yes.
Are you positive?
Yes.
Okay. See, when you counted them, did you count the first card or the last card?
Oh, did I do it wrong? When I counted them, I counted the first card.
The first card?
Yes.
Okay, and did you count the last card as well? Card you stopped at.
Yes.
You sure? Okay. Now, I got kind of a mixed message.
Okay.
See, I was close. I got the Jack of Diamonds.
Oh, that's very close. Okay, so that was a counting thing with me.
But, you know what? I made a mistake. Do you know why?
Why?
Before the show, I tried to make a prediction, and I was actually one card off. The reason why I was one card off was because I lost the rest of the deck.
Oh.
If you take a look, see, the rest of the deck is blank.
You were awesome. You're welcome. That is fabulous.
Thanks. Okay.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Jeez. That blows my mind. Okay.
Sorry, thanks.
Do you want to field some questions?
Oh, and how long have you been a magician?
I've been doing magic since I was 3.
Since you were 3.
Yes.
Awesome. Now, did you get into magic mostly because your last name is the Great?
I actually saw the magician Frank Clarkson when I was at the library, the Barrie Public Library.
Oh, okay.
And ever since I've loved magic.
Nice. Did you go to Hogwarts?
Yes.
Fabulous. Awesome. Now, what do you have coming up this summer?
This summer, I actually have a magic camp coming up. The Sorcerer's Safari Magic Camp, which should be fun.
Excellent. Excellent. Now, I was looking at your website and I saw something about impossible bottles.
Yes.
What? Can you tell me a little bit more about these?
Impossible bottles are a deck of cards inside a milk bottle. So basically, the impossible bottle is an object that could not possibly fit inside of the bottle that it's in because the mouth is too small. It's the same as a ship in a bottle.
Okay.
But I mostly do cards.
Cards in a bottle.
Yes. So it's 52 cards plus jokers and advertisement cards in order with a seal and wrap still on.
With the wrapper still on?
Yes.
That blows my mind.
Thank you.
That is awesome. Excellent. Now, what sort of media attention have you been getting lately? Where have you been?
I've had I've had a few articles in the paper recently, so that's been helping me a lot. Nice. So yeah.
Excellent. And what is coming up for you in the future? What's coming up next? Are you thinking Vegas?
I'm actually working on a prediction. So to predict, say, the next big sports event. So, example, the Grey Cup or the Super Bowl.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Now, I have another question for you, actually. If you were to, who's your favorite magician? That's, like, whose style do you like?
My favorite magicians would have to be Penn and Teller, I think.
Yeah? Awesome. Yeah. Excellent. Do you have another trick?
Sure. I actually have a trick using all of you at home, okay? So, Robbie, could you just... Perfect. So, I want one of you to please come up and touch the screen. Okay? Perfect. So, I want you to touch the 12. And I would like you to just think of a number between 1 and 12. Okay? I would like you to spell your number starting on 12 out. For example, if your number was 1, you'd go O-N-E, and you land on the 3. Please do this now. Great. So, whatever number you are on now, I'd like you to count that out. I'd like you to spell that number you're on right now. Please do this now. Okay. I'd like you to do this once more, okay? That's great. Now, I know you aren't touching the 2, so we can get rid of that. I know you aren't on the 4, so we'll also get rid of that. I know you're not on the 8 or the 12, so we'll also get rid of those. Now, the number you're on right now, I would like you to spell that out clockwise once more. That's great. I know you're not on the 11, the 1, the 10. You know what? I think you're on the 6. Is that right? Thank you.
Awesome. Excellent.
Thanks.
All right.
Thank you.
Oh, and it's great to have you on the show. I know we're limited to microphones, so that's why I kind of had to sit out. But thank you for being on the show. Now you're going to be in Haliburton. You were mentioning that there's a camp out there that you get to attend, or?
Yes. It's Sorcerer Safari Magic Camp. Cool. It's, I believe, a 5-day week, and you're surrounded by professional magicians who you get to go to workshops, lectures, and stuff like that. It should be really fun.
Nice. Now, is this your first time going there? Or?
Yes, it is.
Cool.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that there was a magic camp there. I go to Haliburton once a year, and they usually have Midnight Madness, and there's always magicians that appear there, and it's amazing, and I hope that that's a fun time for you.
Yeah, thank you.
And we wish you all the best. So, what's next? I mean, you've got this camp coming up, and then where do you see yourself going, let's say 5 years from now?
I really want to do some mentalism, to do some more mentalism effects.
Awesome.
So, like, some more mind reading and stuff like that.
Cool.
Thanks.
Sweet.
Thank you.
Thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Cheers. And chat room, was he right? Was it number 6? I know I'm kind of a little taller than you guys here, right?
Yes.
It was number 6.
Yes. It was
great.
6.
Way to go.
Thank you, Jot.
Thank you.
All right. Cool stuff. Well, hey, that's fun,
awesome.
and we're so pleased to be able to have Owen the Great here tonight. It's owenthegreat.com, correct?
Yes.
And you can see those impossible bottles, which I think are quite impressive. I'd love to get my hands on one of those just to check it out.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things where Yeah, like how
the wrapper is still on in a glass bottle. Like it's a glass milk bottle, and the deck of cards is right inside. Blows my mind.
Unbelievable. Awesome stuff. All right, well, I can do a little bit of magic myself. Look at that. We'll give that to him after the show.
Excellent.
All right, well, hey, you've got my my notes here. There you go.
My notes here.
Awesome stuff.
Excellent.
Okay. Well, I have been experimenting, checking some things out with, how we can improve the video quality here at the show and what we can do to do some interesting new things. And one of the things that I came across was what's called a jib. And do you know what a jib is?
Can we start with what is a jib? What is a jib?
It sounds neat. A jib is kind of, if you imagine a crane is, an arm that can go up and down and all around, but a jib is not something that you sit on. So it's like a crane, but you don't sit on it. You actually just operate it from the ground. So it's generally on a stand.
Okay.
But it's a long arm.
Okay.
In this case, because it's a video jib, it would have a video camera on the end of it, and you can move it up and down and all around. And you notice in movies and TV shows especially that, you get these kind of flyover shots where it kind of seems like it's just the camera's kind of moving around like this.
Are we going to have smooth flyover shots of us?
No, not necessarily. I mean, we can, and if you use your imagination, that's pretty cool. Hey, thank you. That's pretty neat. So with that kind of technique, it's such a basic, simple contraption, but you get away from having to hold your camera in your hand and move it around and try to get that effect while having a stable, because you're going to be, especially if you've got this DSLR and it's, 15 pounds or whatever. So I actually found a company in the States. It's called Advanced Digital, and they're a fantastic company to work with. You can go to cat5.tv/jib to check it out. We actually came across an 8-foot jib. So this is this crane mechanism.
Okay.
That is under $200. It's $190. Basically. So you compare that, and a jib typically is going to be $1,000, $2,000, and all of a sudden you're like, whoa. But what it does, what's neat about it is, if you just had a camera on the end of a pole, say, like a tripod or a monopod. Monopod is a good example where you'd hold it up, but the thing is as you go up, the camera is tilting.
Right.
So what's different about a jib is that it has a mechanism so that the camera sits like this. And as the jib goes up, it keeps the camera level so that the camera doesn't actually go like this.
Oh, okay.
So there's a little bit of mechanics there. Really simple mechanics, but it works really, really well. And you'll see that at cat5.tv/jib. So the question becomes, okay, so it's $190 to buy something like this at that website. How hard is it to set up?
Okay,
right?
Let's see.
So I actually had the pleasure of going to Georgian Bay and doing a video shoot for a real estate company there, and we did a whole bunch of stuff. So this was, I'm learning how to use this thing, but you can really see how easy it is to set it up. So basically, it's like a speaker stand kind of stand. It's really solid and can hold well over 100 pounds. And the device itself is not very heavy. I know that I am incredibly muscular and I make it look so lightweight, but it is actually quite light. And so you literally just kind of assemble this thing. This is in real time. I mean, you see how quick it is, other than that little edit. That's just me doing magic, Owen. That's just me floating over there. Okay, so then I just simply put the camera on there, and you see at the back end of it, there's a little bit of counterweight. On the jib, and all that is just simply like dumbbell weights, and those allow basically an offset. There were enormous flies in Georgian Bay.
Whoa!
Enormous. So that counterweight, what you aim to do is add enough weight on the end. That fly is making me laugh. You add enough weight on that. On that end to offset the weight of the camera. So watch what happens here as I add that just one more 5-pound weight. Now the camera literally, and see the mechanism that keeps the camera level? So it literally has this float effect because you've got just like a Steadicam, if you've got an offset weight, a counterweight to the camera, you can really get this kind of floating feel because you're not actually physically having to hold the weight of the camera. everything is offset and balanced, and you can get this real flow to it. So I proceeded to just do a quick shot over the bay, and I've just got my DSLR on there, and I'll just say I should have locked my exposure. That becomes obvious in the video because it was a very, very bright day, and as I move around in our test video, you'll see that my exposure overcompensates a little bit. But so by doing this, I'm actually floating this mechanism, this machine kind of thing, manually around the bay, and the view is just exceptional. You get a full panorama, and it gives you a real sense that you're basically flying the camera. So here's an actual shot from that.
No way.
There you go. So for documentary footage, now imagine somebody was walking along the beach. I could actually follow them just by panning, and you get this really nice smooth shot.
Yeah.
And then straight up into the air. There's my exposure overcompensating there a little bit, but so there I'm actually 10 feet up in the air or so, and you can get a little bit higher than that. And this, you'll notice that I have the stand at the very, very lowest position. Some of the shots that I was doing, I actually raised up the stand because you can actually raise that and get, I think I was up as high as about 15 feet in the air with the camera, so it'll go all the way down to the ground, and then as you kind of flow over, you can add height to it as well.
This would turn any amateur videographer into, well, professional.
I think it really takes you to the next level.
Yeah.
And it's such an easy investment.
Mm-hmm.
So the jib itself, I'll just say the jib is about $190, and you have to buy the stand separately. So that's, I don't know, about $50 or so. So it's a really, really not overly expensive upgrade to your camera rig, and all of a sudden you're able to do these shots that are just awesome. So I'm thinking, if you're shooting like a documentary, or you're shooting, for example, like a independent film,
yeah,
you could, to be able to get these kind of steady, flowing, kind of almost flying shots. Somebody could be walking by on the sidewalk, and you're following them, and then all of a sudden you give it height, and you fly over their head.
I like this.
It can be
done. Could do weddings, anything.
Yeah, weddings, it would be fantastic for.
Big for weddings, yeah.
Really good. So go to cat5.tv/jib to find out more about actually purchasing that. And you'll see, actually, one of the things with Advanced Digital that really impressed me, you'll see that I actually posted a review because the first unit that they sent me was defective.
Oh.
So, of course, you think, okay, well, that's no good.
Mm-hmm.
So I contacted them. I posted a review on Amazon, and I said, okay, well, mine was defective. What did they do? The very next day, they sent me another one. No questions asked, no problem, no hassles. And
did you, they didn't ask you to send your defective one first?
No,
or?
I didn't have to ship it back. So
wow.
I ended up with a defective one and a good one. But I didn't have to go through the headache of having to send it back. So that to say,
that's incredible.
It's just really good customer service, and the way that they treated me was with the absolute, they were apologetic about, oh, we recognize that there was a problem with your jib, and don't worry about it, we'll have another one. I had it like 3 days later, and it's coming up from the States all the way up to here in Canada.
These are going to fly off the shelf. This is going to be like the Robbie effect, like the Oprah effect.
It's just like that.
Jibs everywhere.
Yeah. Every YouTube video from now on is going to be jibified, and so you get somebody to just.
Oh, good.
And you can operate it from the camera end too, because remember, it's counterweighted. So
right.
There are times where you don't want to be at the far end. You want to be at the camera end, and you can just kind of boop, and it goes, and it floats up because the counterweight is taking care of all that for you. So. Excellent mechanism. The design on the Advanced Digital one is excellent, and the quality for $190 blew my mind because, I thought about DIY and thought about, I could probably do this for about $100
mm-hmm.
if I did it myself, rather
mm-hmm.
than the $1,000 option. And then I realized how much work that was going to be to get something that was solidly built. They've already got something that is, it is brushed aluminum, it's solid, it's got all the parts are, they lock together really, really well. They've got wing nuts on everything, and
if anything goes wrong, they've
got the support. Yeah. Excellent stuff. So cat5.tv/jib. If you film something with your new jib, make sure you send it to us. Email live@category5.tv. We want to see the footage. And whatever you come up with, we'd love to see it.
Awesome. Excellent. Well, you ready to hear about some top stories in the newsroom?
Are you all ready? Well, I'm almost ready, as you can see.
You're almost there.
Almost there. We've got some exciting stories tonight, and I love the new format of the news. This is your first time. You ready?
This is my first time.
You ready?
Here we go.
Take it away.
All right. A computer program that can mimic the abstract portrait drawings of specific artists has been built by experts at Disney Research.
Nice.
Disney is awesome. 7 artists were asked to create quick sketches based on portrait photographs, taking various lengths of time to complete their work. Each artist generated about 8,000 pen strokes for the sketches. Individual artist preferences, such as how far apart they drew the eyes, were also included in the data gathered. Then that data was used to create sketches of photographs as the computer understood each artist would have done them, even beginning with a particular feature if that had been identified as what the artist would have done. The research has suggested the techniques involved had the potential to be developed further and might one day be used to create cartoons in specific animators' styles.
No.
That is cool.
Really?
Yeah. Okay, so that means that if you were a specific style of animator,
Sure.
your styles could live on indefinitely.
Through
right?
computer technology. And just so you know, the picture on the left was drawn by the artist, the picture on the right was drawn by the software in the style of the artist. And it's very apparent that is
It's not that bad.
in the style of the artist. So as far as, can it do what I do when I create art with stick figures and sort of messed
My
up
houses
circles.
with
Yes. I still draw
square
houses in
windows
my
and a
trees like this and the evergreens. Yeah, that's
Although,
I basically have grade 2 drawing.
I'm sort of the same. My sister's an artist, and she
My
laughs
brother
at me.
is an artist. My brother is an animator. He is an Emmy award-winning animator, and I can't believe that.
So he can just plug in his work into this, and then he wouldn't have to work again.
I need to get my brother a copy of this software so he can just sit there and do 8,000 strokes. And then he can just sit on the beach with a mojito.
Of course, it makes me think, and I don't know why I always end up down on the dark side.
Yeah.
Handwriting analysis that they use in
oh dear,
CSI in
have a story
48
for you?
hours.
Yes.
You could say, well, that isn't my writing. There's this new
Yes.
research.
That's
there is
kinda
a
scary.
computer that has mimicked my writing, and
Oh boy.
Okay,
Hey, I'll
sorry.
tell you my story after the show. All right. Well, hey. Those of us who don't even have a Blu-ray player are kind of annoyed when they bring out the Blu-ray killer. Yes, that's right. Before many of us even switch to Blu-ray, I still have DVD. I even have a VHS player. Believe it or not.
I have Blu-ray.
Sony and Panasonic have teamed up. They plan to bring out something better. They say that they've got a technology that is going to store about 300 gigabytes on a single optical disc. By contrast, a Blu-ray disc, dual layer, holds only about 50 gigabytes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a Blu-ray player.
Yes.
I have a 3D TV and a Blu-ray player.
Don't you love that it's already obsolete?
And sort of, I have to say, could it get better? No. I feel like it can't get better. I feel like I'm sitting on the ocean floor when I'm watching IMAX under the deep.
But think about 4K. Have you ever heard of it? It is literally 4 times the quality of 1080p.
Really?
So to you to me on a 32-inch TV, that doesn't mean a lot. But now, if I take my 1080p TV that looks really good, and then I decide to upgrade to 52 or 67-inch TV, now 1080p doesn't look so good anymore because it's taken that beautiful sharp image and stretching it out over this.
Right.
So now we get 4K that says, okay, if 1080p looks fantastic in this size, let's do it 4 times that size.
Right.
So a grid of 4. Now we can get it to this size.
My mind can't wrap around this Blu-ray killer. So the quality and the size is going to be
4K video
Okay.
is higher quality video. They need to find a storage mechanism for it.
Right.
Because I believe it was actually Panasonic that mentioned that they believe that 4K video, like a full-length movie, is going to take about at least 100 gigs. So it won't actually fit on a Blu-ray disc.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of the problem. So they've got to come up with something. The demand for extra storage is going to be fueled also by the consumer base being able to film in 4K. You know that that there is a Hero 3 camera, the GoPro, that is able to shoot in 4K, albeit it's only 15 frames per second, so it's really rudimentary and lousy quality, but it is still going to take up a huge amount of space because it's 4K video. Very, very good quality. So JVC, Sony, and Panasonic have all shown off the prototype camcorders that are also able to shoot in 4K. So we're going to see the needs for huge amounts of storage to be just exponentially greater. Digital video expert Paul O'Donovan says the cheapest way to store lots of material long-term is going to be optical discs, and they are much more convenient if you want to send your video to somebody. Family videos, you want to send them to mom and dad. Imagine sending a 300 gigabyte file through the internet. It would take forever. Forever.
That is fabulous.
Mm-hmm.
And sad. I like my Blu-ray. Okay. Cyber squatters. Love that word. Cyber squatters have leapt at the chance to register domain names referring to the new royal baby, Prince George, or Georgie Porgy. Within moments of the baby's name being announced, domains such as georgealexanderlewis.com and princegeorgecambridge.co.uk were taken. One buyer of a royal baby-related domain has put it up for sale at £10,000. Holy Hannah.
It hasn't even been that long.
Yeah, he's just a little guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. His face probably hasn't even unsmushed yet.
What if it never does?
Wow. The owner, Matt James, snapped up a domain the day of the naming announcement. He said, like most British people, I was glued to the TV, excited about the birth, and thought a baby prince domain name had potential. He claims that if he's able to sell the domain for £10,000, he'll give half of the profit to a charity associated with Will and Kate.
Oh, nice.
That is cool. That's neat. It blows my mind still that there are people that are just cyber squatting and waiting to gobble up domain names.
I call them like, I don't know, domain spiders and stuff. They just watch for stuff. And I mean, that's cool. But you would think that with, if you're next in line to the throne and you've got all these people working for you, and that you'd have people that would say, okay, what are you going to name the baby? I'm going to register the .com before you actually make the announcement.
Right. They should have just registered a bunch of different domain names and then kept their options open and, kept people guessing.
But it makes you think, if you're going to have a baby, find out if the .com is available first.
Right.
And then register your baby name.
I wonder
first,
if somebody's been cyber squatting following me and already has registered my domain name .com.
Nobody would register that because it's too hard to spell. So they'd be like, okay, what is it? Sasha D. Sasha D taken? I don't know if you noticed, but our content distribution network is actually on servers that are named after my children. So we actually own Zechariah.com, which is really, really cool because when my boy grows up,
that is awesome.
He has his first name as a .com. Like that in 20 years is not going to be possible ever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so. People who aren't even named Sasha use Sasha. Like Beyonce. She's Sasha Fierce. Have you not heard that?
Oh, no.
Yeah, she's like an alter ego. People just steal my name. Yeah, I know. Your name is good enough, Beyonce. Keep it.
Okay, some more news for you. A high court judge has blocked 3 security researchers from publishing details on how to crack car immobilization services. Flavio Garcia is a computer science lecturer at the University of Birmingham, and Baris Egg and Roel Verdult is they're both security researchers at Redmond University in the Netherlands. The team of researchers informed the chip makers about the exploit back in November, so they gave them at least 9 months' notice that they were going to be sharing this information. That was to give them enough time to fix the problem. However, rather than fix it, they took them to court. German car maker Volkswagen and French defense group Thales have obtained an interim ruling after arguing that the information could actually be used by criminals. So they are now not allowed to make their big announcement. Seems like they're being stepped on there. The academics had planned to present the information at a conference next month. Seems a little unfair.
I don't know
Fix the problem.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. Now we know the problem's out there.
Yeah, so it'll be a hacker that.
So there's a bunch of people who can drive. They can disable the...
It's like the bumper sticker. If you outlaw guns, only outlaws will have guns.
Right.
Well, guess what's going to happen with the deactivation of the chip?
All of the criminals will be driving Volkswagens.
All of them. Awesome. Well, that's the news for tonight.
Oh. My turn. Get the full stories at Category5.TV/newsroom. This week, the Category5.TV newsroom is researched by Roy W. Nash with contributions by our community of viewers. If you have a news story you think is worthy of on-air mention, email newsroom@Category5.TV. For the Category5.TV newsroom, I'm Sasha Dermatis.
Thanks, Sasha.
.com.
Go pick it up, all you domain squatters. Category 5 is expanding our sales force. We sell advertising here at the show. It's obviously non-intrusive, but if you have resources at where you live to go around and sell advertising on behalf of Category 5 TV, we're going to work out a commission deal with you. So all you have to do is email contact@category5.tv for that opportunity. It's a way to support your favorite show because you're going to be helping us with the Studio D renovations with every advertisement that's sold, and you're also going to put a little bit of money in your pocket because we're going to work out a commission with you. So
I think it's a great idea.
I think it'll be a lot of fun to work with viewers and that you can actually go, Jot, if you want to start pacing around in the Netherlands and handing out flyers and getting people interested in buying advertising, then there you go. So now we've got somebody in the Netherlands putting up posters and selling ads.
Yeah.
Wherever you are, it'd be fantastic. So
I wonder if
spread the word.
They'll do it for my work, St. Louis. That'd be good.
Go. That'd be neat.
Devilishly good.
Take advantage of the cyber community.
That's right.
All right. Hey, do we have any viewer questions, comments that have come in during the course of the show tonight?
We
Great to see you, chat room.
do. Let me just see. The chat room has been awesome active about my domain name.
Good. I'm actually going to... Who is it? All right,
Let's
you go ahead.
see. Okay. So I have a question. Old Sot from Maine asks, "Hey Robbie, great show. Been working on watching all the past episodes. Been trying to install Linux for some time now. Tried to install on my notebook first, then my free agent USB drive, and then on a 16 gig scan disk thumb drive. Same results with all of them. It goes through the install fine and says the install was successful, hangs on to the reboot, and then there's nothing on the drive when I check it. The notebook is an HP Pavilion G6 with an AMD dual core running Windows 8 64-bit. It's read on different sites that the culprit could be a secure boot in Windows 8, so he disabled that and tried again and got the same results. He has a number of partitions on all three devices that he can't recover. Can you tell him how?"
Yeah, it could be so many different things. Sounds a little bit odd. Now, are you doing this within Windows though? It sounds like it, eh? It's got Windows 8 on it, and you're actually formatting. So the first thing that I would say, you've installed Linux onto the disk, and how are you determining that it's empty? Well, you're probably booting up into Windows and mounting the hard drive. But Windows can't read a Linux hard drive. Unlike Linux can read Windows hard drives, Mac hard drives, Linux hard drives, and it's a bit more universal that way. With Windows, if you boot up and you mount that hard drive, you're not going to see the file system because it can't read it. It may even tell you that it's unformatted. If you bring up the partition wizard, you'll see that it has been partitioned, but you can't actually access the file system to see if the files are there. So maybe that's what you're seeing. So I would try, once you've done that, reboot the reboot the computer, go into your BIOS and check the and check the boot order. Just make sure that the drive that you're trying to boot from that has Linux on it is actually your boot drive. The other thing would be during the installation process, so you're installing it from CD or something, but it sounds like you must have more than one hard drive. So in an event where you have multiple hard drives, you're going to have to be a little bit Linux savvy when it comes to the mount points of those hard drives. So is it SDA? Is it SDB? Is it SDE? You need to know where Grub is going to go, and Grub is your bootloader, so that when you turn on your computer, it's going to automatically be able to detect Windows and Linux and all that kind of stuff. So it's quite likely that Grub has gone to the wrong place. So it's sitting on another drive, maybe a data drive or whatever else, and so you're not actually able to boot from the drive that maybe it does have Linux installed, but you can't boot from it because you don't have a bootloader that's installed in the boot partition of that in the system itself.
Okay.
So those would be a couple of guesses. Now,
I do have.
Other than that, I mean, could you try virtualization too? If you just want to get your feet wet and get into Linux, that's another option. What's that?
I have a question from the chat room, and it's very important that I say it's from Demetrius92, who has like a name similar to mine, which is Dermatus, and he just goes right ahead and puts it right on there, not just Sasha D. Anyway, the question is. Sorry, I like your name. The question is, can we have a show about Dreamweaver on Linux or similar software on Linux?
Can we instead learn to build websites with gedit or Pluma? Please.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, well, Dreamweaver is proprietary, and it's something that has to be purchased in order to run. So am I going to run out and buy a copy of Dreamweaver? No. If you want us to show Dreamweaver, I'd be happy to demonstrate it, but you'd want to tell us what you want to do. Not likely. Dreamweaver's not something that we would want to promote because I'm not a FOSS like exclusive guy. I run proprietary stuff, but when there are alternatives and better ways to do things, I'm not going to promote, hey, use Dreamweaver when no, that's not the way I would do it.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right.
And to be honest, there are online tools. If you're a rookie and you want to learn how to do web development, so that's what would turn you on to Dreamweaver. There are online tools in the cloud architecture, the Web 2.0 infrastructure that would allow you to build your websites online, like Weebly or something like that. Which are going to make it even easier for you, and then you don't have to invest in the software. You don't have to.
That makes sense.
Send us an email and let me know kind of specifically what you're looking for. Maybe we can do it a different way. Use free software.
Have we received any postcards lately?
Well, no, I don't believe so.
Okay.
We haven't really had the call to action to send a postcard. Who was it that was saying in the chat room that they've sent a postcard?
Somebody.
That said, we do have a fairly full postcard wall.
We do.
And we did receive a shipment from Kekakek. And he sent us a nice little note there, and so I actually posted that up on the wall as well.
Awesome.
But you can send your postcards. It's Postal Box 29009, Barrie, Ontario, Canada, L4N7W7. And if you didn't catch that, it's at the bottom of our website. We love to receive your postcards. Definitely.
Do we have time for another question?
Yes, please.
Robert Gorzinski.
Hey, Robert.
I know you've covered this before on the show, but this is a warning to others to make sure that you back up your data. Is it data or data?
Data.
It is data. Okay, good.
Yeah, let's do that.
A few days ago, I was using gparted while installing Linux and accidentally wiped the wrong drive. Luckily for me, important photos and documents I had backed up on Ubuntu One, Google Drive, and my FreeNAS server.
Okay. With
the server being backed up on an external hard drive. My backup for my emails was unfortunately only stored on the drive I wiped. Luckily, his emails that he lost weren't really important. But this is just really, again, just to back up your files.
That comes to us from Robert Gorzinski, and a wonderful member of our community. I'm sorry to hear that you've gone through that trouble. So what has happened is he's repartitioning his hard drive, which is to take that Pi, which is split up into pieces, and remove one of the pieces and resize this piece so that you're repartitioning. You're basically changing the architecture of how the hard drive or the Pi is cut up.
Okay.
So in doing so, he accidentally removed the wrong thing, and that happened to be the piece of the Pi that had all his data on it.
Yikes.
Ouch. Glad that you have a backup, and I reiterate to what Robert is saying there.
Just
make
back
sure you
everything
back
up.
We have here. I'm extremely particular when it comes to my backups. You remember I actually filmed Abigail's wedding for her, and that was a lot of fun. And but I take things really seriously. And I'm not a videographer. I'm not a professional wedding videographer. And if people called me up and said, "Could you film my wedding too?" No, I did it for Abigail because she's a member of our team, and so that's not what I do. But I take my backups so seriously that I actually, what I did is I invested a little bit of money and I bought like an anti-static SD card holder, which is also waterproof and non-susceptible to electrostatic radiation and stuff. So if I get shocked or something, this is still safe with my cards in it. So I had this at the wedding, and then I had my laptop, and I kept the data on the cards, but I plugged in the card into the laptop and I downloaded the videos as I was going. So now I always had a copy on the laptop and a copy on the card. And I bought 4 32 gig cards so that I could just keep switching the cards. And I'd never run out of space.
This is interesting because it leads to the question I was going to ask you after the show. Because I accidentally fried an SD card in my phone when I was in Jamaica.
Does it have your pictures on it and stuff?
It did.
Do you have it here?
It's not here.
Okay, bring it.
If I bring it, you can maybe get the pictures back.
Well, we're going to look at a tool from the Test Disk free application that's available on Linux. It's called PhotoRec, which stands for Photo Recovery. Mm-hmm. And we'll look at that tool. And that's actually what Robert Gorzinski was saying. He used PhotoRec to try to get some of the data off of his hard drive. It's a fantastic tool that's available to you if you're running Linux. We'll plug in that card, and we'll see if we can get some data off of it.
That is awesome.
So.
Yeah, I've lost my pictures on more than one occasion in my life. That's why I know to back everything up. I've actually lost my hard copy photos too. So
I had a customer who came in and they had backed up they said they backed up. Here's the difference between me and somebody else. I made copies. So I always had at least 2 copies. Now, as soon as I got back to the studio, what did I do? I then took my laptop, which had a copy of all Abigail's videos, and I backed them up to the server, and then the server backed them up to my offsite backup that night. Okay, so I'm crazy redundant. Okay, this poor fellow had filmed a wedding for a friend, similar kind of scenario as to what I did. You're not a videographer, you just got a nice DSLR and a couple of tripods and you go and do the best that you possibly can to save your friend money. Mm-hmm. So, great. Put all the videos on his external hard drive, but moved them off of the SD cards. So now, okay, fine, the videos are on the drive, they're no longer on the SD cards. He continued to shoot more stuff with the SD cards, so he was overwriting the sectors where the data could have been recovered from. Right. Needless to say, his hard drive that he had put all the video on, and then, that was the only copy in all of existence from someone's wedding, that hard drive crashed. And it didn't just crash, it was actually a head failure, so the heads actually touched the platter. I don't know if he dropped the drive or what, but investigating the inside of the drive, there was physical damage there that would have required at least a $2,000 recovery to get the data off this drive. So we thought, okay, well, we'll be smart. Let's take the SD cards and try to get the data off of them. But he unfortunately overwritten everything.
Yeah.
And there were no copies in existence of this wedding video.
Wow. If there is ever a time to renew your vows.
Yeah, a month after the wedding. So that, that's heartbreaking. That's a heartbreaking scenario. And I share that with you because I don't want that to happen to you. And that, I told him, there's nothing that can be done other than spend $2,000 on a data recovery in this particular instance. Just happened to be a worst case scenario. So always, always, always keep multiple copies of your stuff. Not on the same media, though. Like, I'm not talking, people will actually, then this happens, you'll take a copy from your computer and you'll copy it to a folder on your desktop. So you've got it in My Documents and your desktop. So now you've got 2 copies, but you don't. Because it's in the same computer. Even if it's a separate hard drive, if you have a fire, where is it?
Right.
A power surge that takes out your computer.
Like an external hard drive would be okay.
If you want to do it that way, you could put it on an external hard drive and then safely eject it, unplug it, take it, put it in a safety deposit box.
Right.
And do that on a rotation schedule so that you always have a copy that is nowhere near the other copy. So,
wow, scary stuff.
That's how I work.
Back up. It's as important as brushing your teeth. Back up.
More important. You can get away with not brushing your teeth for 2 or 3 days. The people around you will disagree. But if you don't back up and then you have a hard drive crash, you're done.
Now we know Robbie's priorities.
Yeah. Well, hey, thanks for being here with us tonight. Any other questions for us? We've got a couple minutes left of the show. I got a really cool device sent to me today I'm kind of tickled pink about this because we sometimes, I'm not a guy who, I still have a flip phone and I still do have my CRT TV, and I wasn't joking, I do have VHS. Because until something breaks, I'm just the kind of guy that I don't go and get the next best thing. That's just not the way that I roll.
Do you have an 8-track?
I don't. I would love one. Band on the run. Okay, so, but I do have this. This is the Novatel wireless LTE Wi-Fi hotspot.
Oh.
I haven't even opened the box. I saved that for you. So what this is the MiFi 2, and this allows you, there it is. It looks like just a little cute little screen. I don't know if it's upside down. See, I don't even know how it works. Okay, so it's actually booting up just like that. Looks like I've got a power charger and a USB. It's USB powered, so it's got a USB AC adapter for charging. Just says MiFi. It's still got the sticker on it too. So what this does, if you can believe, this uses your cell phone SIM card. So you pop your SIM card in there. You've got LTE service. Yeah. Okay. And now this becomes a mobile hotspot.
That is awesome.
For all your devices.
That's incredible.
It's entirely wireless. So you put this on the windowsill in the cottage. And now you've got your iPod is using Wi-Fi. You've got all this stuff. And I was thinking with, you've got, if you're using the Magic Jack app on your iPod or the NetTalk app on your iPod to be able to make calls on Wi-Fi, it would probably be a lot cheaper to just do this than to be using a cell phone somewhere.
Right.
So this, it apparently is going to cost about $10 a month to just have it active, and then it will just be your usage on top of that based on a tiered pricing plan. So it's really, really cheap.
If you're putting your SIM card in it, it's the usage from your
phone, you add the data plan. It's like they call it a flex plan, and it allows you to. It is 10. If I turn this off and put it in the cupboard, it will only cost me $10 that month.
Okay.
Just to have it active. But then when I use it, it'll cost a little bit more. But here's the kicker. It's like 23 megs a second. 23 megabits a second. This little bad boy is apparently going to be a lot faster than our cable internet, our DSL connection. It says, welcome to the MiFi 2. It's got a quick start little tutorial here. Select this network. Okay, should we give it a go?
Yeah.
It already says, check your Wi-Fi device. So I've got my iPod Touch here. Let's see. See if it detects it. Do you guys see the network MiFi 2 MFAU here in the studio? Wi-Fi. There it is. It's there. Okay, so I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to sign in for the first time. 48. This is, I guess, like a WEP key or something, which I'll probably want to change to WPA2. So apparently I'm connected. Let's see if I actually have internet. You can always find the information again by tapping on the connection icon. Okay, finish. Apparently it's got multimedia and everything, and it is obviously a touch screen, and I can do some pretty neat stuff.
It is super cute.
So
I know that matters to everybody.
Okay. So what really matters is, okay, so now that I'm tethered to this, and I've never done this, I just activated it just in that moment, I'm going to run a speed test. This is speedtest.net's app for iOS. What does it tell us? And can you see that, Heather?
Oh, look at that. It's a little speedometer.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm already over 2 megs a second. 2.58 megs a second down. So it's nowhere near 23. But that is super fast compared to what I would have if I went to the cottage or something. Mm-hmm. So I'm getting the equivalent of about half DSL speeds right now in this moment. So I don't know if that means that maybe they haven't activated the plan, because I just got it today, right? That's quite possible. But we'll see. We'll give it a test over the next couple of weeks and see what kind of speeds we can pull from this little thing. So you keep that, in your suitcase, and boom, there you go.
Perfect.
It's your own mobile Wi-Fi hotspot called the MiFi 2. Cool. We'll post links in the show notes for episode number 306, and all the links from today's show, including owenthegreat.com. Make sure you check them out. That will all be in the show notes for episode number 306. So thank you, everybody, for being here.
Thank you. Wow, what a great hour. That was awesome.
Always flies by, eh?
Now I want to do card tricks. Excellent. So next week, Becca will be on.
I know. I'm looking forward to that. My wife is going to be on the show for the first time in, I don't know, it's been a long time. I think she was here like in second or third season.
Awesome.
So she's going to be here. We're going to be talking. We're actually going to be doing something really, really cool. We're going to be taking a real physical computer, turning it into a virtual machine. That's all I need to say.
Nice.
There are many, many great applications for that. So don't miss it next Tuesday night at 7 o'clock Eastern. So,
excellent.
Hey, you have a great week.
Thank you. You too.
Nice to see you.
See you guys next
Owen the Great,
time.
thanks for joining us tonight. And great to see you. Do check out his website, owenthegreat.com, and have a fantastic week. See you next Tuesday night.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
We hope you enjoyed the show. Category 5 TV broadcasts live from Barrie, Ontario, Canada every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. If you're watching this on demand or through cable TV, check out the local show times in your area at Category5.TV and find out when you can watch live and interact in the community chat room. Category 5 is a production of Prodigy Digital Solutions and is licensed under Creative Commons Attribution 2.5 Canada. We'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in.